No, I'm being
Okay,
called in to
it's
play
fine.
for
Alright,
Kronos.
that's fine. Okay, we're gonna queue.
Okay. Good luck. Is that all you need help with? Anything else?
Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm gonna have to just wing it from here and see how it goes.
Okay. Good luck.
All right, thanks. Calypto, you also gonna dip?
Not far, just zoom out half quickly. But where's the link posted now?
I don't know about a link.
How do I find your stream?
On my profile is my link to my Twitch on my Discord profile.
Okay. Discord profile. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Ricky Rocket.
Rexy Rock, yeah.
Go. Start watching.
All right, so this is the Aeon versus Genesis game.
Oh, we're having a delay.
Making sure I know which one's which. Oh, all right, we're already in. Let's see what we're gonna deal with here. So from single tracks, what is the first ban going to be? Nami taken out for the first ban. Very, very dangerous support. The amount of CC that can come through there with that electric combo. Lilia taken out as well as a counter towards Genesis. Very strong with Fluffy Pancake on that Lilia. Swain taken out as well. Quite a strong main tank kind of support, able to engage with that R, keep draining a life and keep himself going. Zac, a very strong jungler to take out from Genesis as well. Very strong engage, being able to come out of nowhere, land on top of you, very difficult to get away from. Known also to build that Radiant Virtue to keep the team going with the cooldowns. Let's see, what is the next ban going to be coming through from Genesis side? Azaya. That could be a decent ban if you're planning on playing a all-in comp. The Pyke taken away from Genesis though. Pyke is quite a strong support. You do have that moral dilemma of, do you deal with the ADC or do you deal with the Pyke? Because if you let that Pyke live during fights, that death from below can take out your entire team while you're trying to take out the ADC alone. What is the first pick going to be here from Genesis? Single Track's trying to make his pick. Does he pick for himself in top lane or does he pick for someone else in his team? The Karma coming through, very strong support, very good engage as well as disengage. Very good lockdown, keeping the team alive with those shields, and good damage coming through from a Karma as well. Does the Morgana get locked in here? Let's see. Morgana does in fact get locked in. Morgana very strong as an anti-engage, Jhin coming in there as well. The stun that Morgana can leave on with the Q, the Dark Binding I think it's called, Jhin can easily follow up with that, getting at least his third shot in with the amount of time the person is stunned for. That is a quite high damage bot lane. One misstep, get caught out, you can easily be found grey screening and back at the Nexus in just a few short seconds. But Caitlyn Karma, does that come through for Genesis? Seems it does. Caitlyn Karma, very, very strong comp. The mobility that Karma can give into this Caitlyn to be able to not only chase with the range, but disengage with the range as well. The kiting that is here in this bot lane already, pretty scary. What comes through next on the side of Genesis? An Echo. An Echo so far seems to work. We haven't seen the rest of their team. Echo very, very strong at that burst, is easily able to take out a Jhin if he is caught out. Echo very good as well for that AoE stun on the W, if he does manage to land it in a good position and get into it in time. Could be a very, very dangerous pick for Aeon. Let's see where this goes. Cassiopeia. Not too familiar with Cassiopeia and how her abilities exactly work. I do know that the grounding on her abilities will stop Echo from being able to jump around and get that extra damage done with his enhanced auto attack on his E. The Mordekaiser ban coming through. I don't know if that is exactly a jungle ban or a top ban, because Mordekaiser has been quite strong in both those lanes recently. the Diana taken out. Very, very good at jumping into a team, keeping them locked down, especially when you have somebody that's trying to keep them moving around, like the Karma trying to keep that Caitlyn alive. Akshan. Not too sure if that's supposed to be a... Well, from what I can see here, it is a counter ban on Nick Zora. Thank you so much for the follow there, Cappy and Bugs Tag him. Wonder if my alert box is just a little bit slow there on the notification, but thank you very much. The Jax ban. Is that a counter ban? From what I can see, does seem to sort of be a counter ban, but not a big one that I can really find here. Wukong locked in. Now, is that Wukong top? Or is that Wukong jungle? Wukong, of course, has been very strong recently in the jungle. Not too sure, since I'm newer to the game, if he has been strong in jungle before recent patches, but you do want to be wary. I mean, just like a Shaco, being able to go invisible, come out of nowhere, dealing high amounts of damage with the CC that he is able to bring as well with that ultimate. Will an Aatrox be locked in? No? Seems we're hovering the Scion. Scion very good for that split push potential. It seems, there we go, a Camille is being locked in. I do like a Camille. When you've got already a high engage like Echo and the Kiana, you do want somebody that can also be in there, but at least have a bit of tankiness to them as well. Camille can satisfy that need. Now, what do they pick in response here from Aeon? Fiora is locked in. Fiora, really good at dueling 1v1s. I'd say with the amount of healing that Camille can bring and the true damage that Camille can bring, a Fiora is a good match to that kind of champion, being able to bring its own true damage and healing right back at them. Now, this top lane could be something to watch and follow, because it could be very, very deadly in terms of trades, or all ins immediately. Hello, everybody in chat. Tell me, guys, what are we looking at here in terms of team comps? What team are we leaning towards? On the left, we have Genesis with the Camille, the Echo, Kiana, Caitlyn, Karma, very mobile, very high damage composition. While on the right, we've got the Fiora, the Wukong, the Cassiopeia, the Jhin, and the Morgana for Team Aeon. Very lockdown, single target potential. As we move on to the game, we'll have to wait for that spectator delay, but what are we thinking here? Okay, we will have to wait for that spectator delay to go down. At the meantime, I will look up how to make a poll, because, to be perfectly honest, I have never learned how to make a poll before. Not that any of you will exactly have the points here to spend on a poll, except for certain people, but might as well put it down to see how this goes. I'll have to go to my dashboard. It is going to be very strong. On one hand, the Karma's got the range against the Jhin. Not much in terms of the damage compared to the fourth shot from the Jhin, but the Karma is very good at locking down that single target. However, Morgana does have that black shield that can negate a lot of the CC that can come through, keeping that Jhin safe, not only in the laning phase, but also in team fights. Although there is a lot of CC on the side of Genesis, that Kiana coming through, if she uses her ice form with her Q, the Echo coming through on the W, the Camille coming through on her leap, the Karma coming through on her W as well when she's able to bind somebody. Morgana can't black shield all of it, so this could be very dangerous for the side of Aeon, but they do have the peel. They do have the Cassiopeia to try and get that AoE ult to try and turn the team into stone, stop them dead in their tracks, leap in on them and single target out who they need to. But Wukong as well, with the intense disruption on his ultimate, not only being able to cast it once, but twice to disrupt even further. Fiora being able to challenge anybody she catches out of position as well with that Morgana's binding. It is very, very dangerous on whoever missteps in either of these teams. As we are waiting for this delay to tick down. Here. Thank you, Calypto, for the follow. We are going to get ready to get into this game. Let's do a 3-minute, maybe a 5-minute duration on this poll. And let us move on over to the live scene. Let's see. Some great skins coming through here. The Spirit Blossom Cassiopeia. Oh, well, didn't get to see it all. Let's keep that scoreboard up. And time controls out of there, please. Let's see what we got. Go onto the directed camera so we can see all the goodness coming through. So it seems the Kiana Zora will opt for the longsword into 3 potions for the start. Expecting to take a bit of damage, expecting to take some trades. Jhin as well, starting with the longsword and the refillable. Very good on the Jhin to be able to sustain himself as well. The refillable only needs to spend on once. Every time he goes back to the fountain, it resets those refillable potions. Very, very good purchase if you intend on taking some trades, but also want to sustain in lane to get that good farm. Of course, Jhin needs to scale. Only with these third item does he really become really high output on that damage when he needs to. Let's see here. Fiora waiting in top lane, watching for that invade. Well, it seems... Oh, we got an Ahoy. It seems Echo will be starting on his red side. He might be trying to path top, see if he can shut down the Fiora early. A little bit of emote spam. Start off the game nicely. From what I can see here, there is already, from side of Genesis, a ward placed by the Raptors on the side of Aeon. Very good to try and track that jungler, see where he might end up at the later stages of time here. You do want to always try and have track of the enemy jungler, just to keep your team safe for those ganks, being able to counter gank not only in the side he does gank, or counter gank in bot lane should he push that top. Good poke coming through. Dark Binding does land on the Karma. 4th shot does hit Dracarys. Good amount of early damage. What else can we see here? Dark Binding does land again on Dracarys. Single tracks trying to outpoke Guy here on the Fiora. Vitals do a lot of damage. Pancake. Oh. Bit of stutter. Pancake does find error, doing some good damage, but Nick Wolf is here to try and scare him off, nearly getting Pancake out of position there. It seems in terms of trade, Genesis is on the winning side of bot lane. But you never know, one Dark Binding can catch Dracarys or Pendragon, just like this, catch them out of position, doing insane amount of damage. The Ignite does come through. Meanwhile, there is a gank top lane. Parry will be used, does stun single tracks. He is taken out. Beautiful gank there from Nick Wolf. Pendragon taking quite a bit of damage there. Morgana W early damage still does quite a bit. You've got to be careful about that. They are looking to push in the lane in top lane, see if they can try and get a plating. But nope, they are just making sure that it shoves enough to get some pressure going. Single Tracks did have to use his teleport. Meanwhile, enough damage in bot lane to take out Dracarys early. That is not what you want to see. Heal was used on Dracarys as well. So far only... well, dodges the Dark Binding there. Good sidestep, but does it cost him? It does. We can see the pings coming through on the summoner spells that were used. That does indeed mean that the Jhin, Hello does not have flash. Same for Cappy. Ignite was used in an earlier fight. So far, that is 3 summoner spells to 2 in the favor of Genesis. You see Nick Wolf, is he trying to farm ahead, trying to get his items? Nick Zora doing a good job trading this out. Electrocute does come through, but that grounded does shut down a lot. Flash used. Nick Wolf out of nowhere. Does the Ignite burn? No, it does not. The Triumph able to keep Motmatil up. The jump does go wide. Guy might be able to get out of this. Enough damage coming through. Good trade, good trade. Although the level advantage is in Single Tracks' favor here. Does the jungle move up? Try and assist? No, but damage is definitely coming through. Guys in a bit of a scary position here. Does try and trade it through. The grasp is healing quite enough of that health to sustain him in the lane. As we see, both junglers are on mid side. Things coming through here. Vision. They have possibly spotted an ability of Pancakes on the Raptors. A trade coming through here in top lane. Does this end up in a kill? True damage from both sides is quite high. The parry does finish off Single Tracks. Meanwhile, there is a fight here in mid lane. Motmatil does go down, but Nick Wolf is trying to get a trade. He does get a trade on Nick Zora. He goes down. Do they continue fighting? It looks like they're just going to skirmish for now. Fourth shot doing some good damage on Pendragon. Pancake trying to return some of that damage that Nick Wolf was able to bring. They both have a nice damage dash. Guy is able to push this under tower. Seems Single Tracks will go in for the dive. Does get the kill. Maybe a little bit of an overstay there on Guy's part. You do not want to forget Camille's mobility. Let's see if Pendragon does get the root, does not, but here comes Morgana. Will she be caught out here? Dark Binding does land. Double root coming through. Does the damage get returned? It does seem so with the headshot on the 90 caliber net. Pancake does get the stun with his W. Damage is coming through, but it looks like he will have to back off as the Cassiopeia did reach level 6. That is something you want to be wary of. We see Pancake is invading to take those Raptors, but Guy has found him. Ignite is dropped on Pancake. He would have to flash to get out of there. Does he die here? Parry does come through. That is it. The challenge coming through from Guy on Pancake will take him out. Unfortunately, Nick Zora was not able to get there in time to assist. Dark Binding just misses. The root does go on Pendragon though. Of course, since they are under tower, that damage will have to be all there is. You cannot really push that so close and think you'll get out of there unless, of course, you're a Tigger. But Dragon is secured. First Dragon Infernal Drake for Aeon. Some good trades coming in from Guy. Singletrax is in a little bit of a puzzling situation here. He's taking the poke from Guy, but he can't exactly dish it under the tower without taking too many shots. He does go for the dive, takes one shot. Ultimate coming through. Ignite, burn. Do they trade? No, he survives with the skin of his teeth. Minions nearly take him out there. Triumph. Very, very useful rune. For that exact reason. Zora does have the root on his Q. Does not hit it though. Did pick it up again. Might want to try and do it again. However, he does see that Nick Wolf is there in the top river taking out vision. Does he move to Rift Herald? It seems he does. Trades coming through. Funcake's W just goes wide. Was able to notice in time and get out of there. We do see Nick Wolf seems to be working on that Rift Herald. Support is coming through from Cappy. Getting that vision around and then maybe going to assist. That does leave Hello alone in the bot lane. If he gets caught out, this might spell the end of him. Pancake coming to pick up what's left after the Rift Herald. Nick Wolf doing a lot of damage. Pancake getting caught out, but he uses his R to get most of his health back. Ignite was used from Cappy. Motmatil goes down. No, he does not. He survives. Ignite just was not enough. Pancake is caught out here. Duel does come through. Camille jumping in, Singletrax getting the kill on Cappy. Beautiful positioning as bait there from Pancake to be able to get him out there. Plates will be acquired in the bot lane as the support is not there to try and deal with all this poke coming through. Ultimate does come through with Dracarius, just not enough to take out Hello. Meanwhile, more poking going on in the top lane. Singletrax trying to trade that damage back. Another plate will be acquired here for the Genesis bot lane. Cappy trying to keep them off with her W. Nick Wolf coming in for the ganks. The Ignite is dropped. Singletrax will try and heal with his W, but it just not is enough. Shutdown does go to Guy. 200 gold extra with that kill. Rift Herald will be dropped top. Pancake will have to try and defend this. Is he able to take it out in time? Zora is coming in for the gank on the side. The flash is coming through. Zora had to flash. While Guy had to flash as well. Kill does come through for Zora. Here comes the sniping. Does he land them? It seems to cancel it. They're getting a bit too close for his favor. That is a double kill towards the bot lane. Zora trying to do what he can to survive as Singletrax is trying to make his way in. Can he deal with both of these? Ignite does come through. Takes down Nick Wolf. Motmatil here in a bad spot. Zora coming through to try and take that final kill. There it is. One kill for Singletrax, one kill for Zora, spacing it evenly out to try and get gold for both of them. So far, a very even fight. The gold difference only about, I'd say, 1k almost. Not even. Dark Binding trying to come through here. Does just stop at the end of its range, not hitting. Pancake trying to go in. Parry does land, stunning Pancake in return. I don't think he wins this trade. I guess he's trying to just scare him off of the tower. Denying those plates. He is going back in though. Vital was hit. A lot of damage there on Pancake. He does have the R. That is why he's playing so aggressive. He knows he can try and make it out of there. Does R out. Dark Binding lands. Zora is able to get out of there though. And Nick Wolf just peacefully farming his blue while all this is happening. A lot of pings coming through here. Seems both teams want to try and contest this dragon. Root does come through on
Go
Zora.
Mat Mario.
That will be a death of Zora for people in mid lane. Not much you can do about that. Single Track's trying to chase down Motmatil here. Does go down to the true damage of Camille. It is pretty strong. Thank you so much for the donation. Do I have to say that name? Massive Balls, $1. Thank you very much. It seems we have someone rooting for the side of Aeon. Dragon's still yet to be acquired so far. It's just a vision game, trying to see who can win that advantage first. Try and see who can contest the dragon first here. Single Track's half health, Guy less than half health. Not a very favorable position here for Guy, but of course he is playing Fiora. The healing on Fiora could make up for a lot of this fight. Does have the ultimate on both sides. Vital very close, does manage to hit it. Here comes the duel. Ignite coming through on Single Tracks, but the ult coming through from Single Tracks onto Guy does confirm that kill. A little bit of a freeze there. Some good poke coming through from Pendragon into Queries. Sadly, the only poke from a distance that can really be returned is from Cappy on that W. Dark Binding does go wide, able to sidestep it from Pendragon. Nick Wolf is trying to set up a little bit of a gank here, hoping to stand on top of the lane, hopefully appear out of nowhere, but Pancake is going to get spotted. Maybe caught out of position here. Dark Binding does land. Double root coming through from Hello as well. Thank you so much for the follow. How do I pronounce this? Satandile? I'm hoping it's an African name. Might be wrong. Here we have Motmatil on the side. Zora does find him. The ult goes out. The ignite as well. Ultimate does not land. Thank you, Lisnek, for the follow. Meanwhile, Jin could be caught out here. They are pinging that they want to dive on top of him. He is pretty caught out while the Dark Binding does land. Jin root does not. Looks like they're collapsing onto Hello. Era Esports TV as well. Thank you for the follow. Nick Wolf trying to see what he can trade back here. Single Tracks does take a tower shot. This is a very even fight now. Although the ignite is on Single Tracks' favor, stun goes down. Not feeling confident enough to place that ignite on. Would be able to survive that. If more damage is given, ignite can be dropped. Here comes the ultimate. Ignite does not need to be used there. It was enough damage alone. Ahoy. Good stun there from Pancake. Electrocute does do enough damage to be able to bring him low enough for Pancake to take that finishing blow. The Dark Harvest really coming through clutch on that damage. How many stacks does Pancake now have on that Dark Harvest? 6 stacks. Definitely not a bad number there. Does Single Tracks find Nick Wolf? He does. Did he take a fight that he was not prepared for, though? Is burning a bit from that red buff damage. Karma ignited that Wukong clone. It looks like Genesis will be starting the Rift Herald. Guy knows something is up. He is able to scout them. Pings are coming through from Aeon. They want to contest this. You can see Morgana, Cassiopeia. They're moving up. They're coming to assist. But the damage is there from the side of Genesis. Dark Binding goes in, catches Pancake. They do secure the Rift Herald though. TP coming in from Single Tracks. Here comes a team fight. Leaping onto Motmatil.
Ahoy!
Nick Zora's ult goes wide. Cassiopeia's caught out with a stun. Motmatil goes down. Nick Wolf seeing what he can try and remedy from the situation. Guy is also getting caught out. Does he die though? Hello is definitely out of position there in the front of the team. Trades are coming through. Nick Wolf trying to see what he can take back as well. Somehow, this fight went into favor of Aeon. What you would think, with all the bursts that Genesis has at their disposal, you'd think that they would be able to win a team fight where people are being caught out of position, but no. What was said in the beginning, the amount of lockdown, stun, and single target damage from the side of Aeon slowly was able to peel that team back and unravel them. Now it looks like Aeon will be trying to push this mid lane with Cappy and Nick Wolf trying to take the tower. However, Singletrax has something else in plan for it. They do not want them to have that tower. At this point, we're going back to sort of a skirmish farming phase. The team fight has been done, the team fight has been lost. It's a farm and vision game now at this point. Seems Cappy is having a little bit of a ping problem. Pancake securing his red. Does he look for a gank now? We'll go on to his raptors. I also want to point out the vision difference here. If we look from the side of Aeon, how much vision is in the enemy jungle side of Genesis versus how much vision Genesis has on the Aeon jungle. Fight coming through here. Cappy using his ult, trying keeping this Pancake at bay here. Does not get the second root from it. Nick Wolf trying to see if he can also catch Pancake out of position, but Zora does come in. Dark Binding does land. Second root from Jin. He is a bit out of position now, running right into Pancake's face. Luckily, Cassiopeia being right there was enough to scare him off. Pancake dealing a lot of damage now. He does have that Hextech Rocket Belt. The penetration passive from it is pretty good. Seems teams are trying to move down to Dragon. Will Nick Wolf be caught out here? Things are coming through from Aeon's side saying they need to start contesting this Dragon. Guy on the sideline hoping to catch Dracarys out. The Jhin ultimate hitting one by one, doing heavy damage on Dracarys, making sure he is not going to be part of this fight coming up now. The Ignite does get dropped from what seems to be Pendragon. Both teams taking quite a beating. Mainly Dracarys on the side of Genesis, however, Aeon. Dark Binding does land on Pancake. They do single him out, target him, take him down. That will be the jungler gone for this dragon fight. Does that mean that they are going to just start this dragon up and not have to worry about it counter smite? Pendragon trying to steal it with the Q does not land. The smite from Nick Wolf was on point. What seemed... Is this game one? Yes, this is game one. So far, very well played so far, very even. But like I said, while Genesis does have that burst damage, the side of Aeon has that lockdown to be able to single target somebody, take them out, and move on to the next one. They have the huge amount of CC on their side to be able to take down the team one by one, peel them back, take out their ADC if they need to, because Nick Wolf can get behind the team and get into their backline, while Hello can fire from a distance with his ultimate. Nick Zora is able to catch Cappy out and immediately obliterate him. Dracarys has to be careful here. The team isn't anywhere nearby unless now he's moving towards them. They may try and start this Baron. There is vision on Baron though. Aeon will know that they're on it. They're trying their hardest to burst this down as fast as possible, make sure that it cannot be contested. Jin's ultimate will come through trying to steal this. Nick Wolf is in the pit. Now you have to be very careful. Singletrack's taking a lot of damage from that fourth shot. Nick Wolf will have to flash out of the pit, but is he able to get back in? No. Blue team, Genesis, secures the Baron, and they are getting out of there. They do not want to risk losing this in a team fight. They've been in this position before, in that exact same spot on the river when fighting for the Rift Herald. They know they will not win that fight if they play it front to back like this. What, Mathiel taking a few tower shots? Damage is coming through from Pendragon that will make them disengage. Now with this Baron buff, they're looking to push mid lane. Single Tracks is looking to try and at least get some side lane pressure as well, while the main brunt of the force pushes mid. Redwood will be spotted by Pendragon. Zora does appear to be moving top lane to protect this tower and hopefully push this lane out as well. Single Tracks is going to be blocked by Guy when trying to push bot lane. Will decide to instead move to the team. Mateel holding top lane as well. A fight could break out here in the mid lane. See, Nick Wolf is moving closer and closer behind side of Genesis. He's doing his raptors. There is vision there though. Pancake is rooted. Does he get caught out? No, is able to escape. They did not want to die of that for the fear of the rest of the team being just behind the wall. Single Tracks is trying to fight Guy off here. He wants that lane. He wants this tower. Playing aggressive here, doing an insane amount of damage. However, the challenge does drop as well. Both sides using the ignite to try and stop each other, but Guy hits the parry to finish off the challenge, doing enough damage there to kill. Both sides using their ignites. Zora is caught by the Dark Binding, however, does ult the wall, able to stop Nick Wolf in his tracks. Root coming through on Guy as well. Dracarys is going to try and get out of there. Guy will be chasing. But that is it for Dracarys. Could not get away from the Fiora with 1,000 dashes in a few seconds. Dragon coming up soon. You add these timers. Objective timers, there we are. Dragon coming up in 36 seconds. This is Cloud Drake Soul we're looking at here. In terms of ultimates that this could be used on, can be very strong for the side of... I'd say Genesis has a better option here in terms of using that Cloud Drake Soul. The Karma being able to get that extra movement speed when ulting, very good for the team in terms of engage. Karma has opted for that Radiant Virtue for the extra healing on the team as well as the extra cooldown reduction. Seeing as how Karma constantly has her ultimate and is constantly able to use it, the amount of proccing that she can get done on that Radiant Virtue is a high amount of healing for a more damage enchanter type champion. Looking at moored items, Cappy did opt for that Leandries. Able to poke out a lot with a W, get the burn off constantly. Pancake. Let's see, Pancake was able to dodge the Dark Binding. They will start up Dragon here. However, they have to be careful nipping at their heels as the side of Aeon. They're looking for this Dragon. They want this Dragon. Single Track's taking some burn damage from the Morgana W. Jin popping his ultimate. Shots coming through. Who will take that fourth shot? Root lands on Pancake. In goes Nick Wolf. The amount of stun coming through here. Cappy will have to leave. The amount of damage. Nick Wolf does go down to Dracarys. While a pick does get found on Single Tracks, Pancake is trying to hit that stun. Gets the Cassiopeia. Dragon will be continued by the side of Aeon. They do manage to get it and they are going to leave. They do not want to fight any longer. However, Guy did not seem to get the memo. Is caught out by Dracarys. They're looking to finish this off. They want to pick off as much as possible here. See if they can push the mid lane afterwards. Rooted on Mateel. Dracarys picks him off. They are continuing. Cappy is able to get that Dark Binding onto Dracarys. It is enough damage to kill him. Not sure how that kill went to Mateel, but Dracarys does get shut down. However, the damage has already been done. Mid lane will be pushed. Nick Wolf can try his best to contest this. He should have the damage. However, Pendragon does have that ability to disengage the team with the RE, with the ultimate shield. The movement speed on Karma to be able to get out of any position is very strong, even without Shirelia's. Now it looks like Genesis is busy pushing top lane. They want to get some vision around for this Baron coming up in 20 seconds. In terms of gold difference here, we're seeing the gold for Genesis push more and more ahead compared to Aeon. Aeon sitting at 49k, while Genesis is here at 51.7k. Quite a lead in terms of about, I'm not good at quick maths, but I'd say about 2k gold. Enough for almost half an item. Just over half an item. Single tracks looking for Motmatiel. Nick Wolf is there to try and counter it. The art coming through, Dark Binding landing. Single tracks trying to get out, but does not jump in the right direction. Nick Zora hitting the stun on... my voice here. On Nick Wolf. The fight does move in favor of Genesis. That will confirm them the Baron. I am not very good at the quick casting in terms of team fights. Bear with me here. But they will secure this Baron. I wonder if Hello will try and steal it with his ultimate. He is here. He is waiting. Cappy will try and get them vision. He pulls out the ultimate. Does he try and steal it, or does he try and secure a kill? Cappy is going to be taken out by Pancake here. Now Hello has to be careful. Zora is approaching. Gale forced forward to take out Zora. Pancake moving in for the stun. Takes out Hello. That is definitely a full-on ace for the side of Genesis. However, mission was accomplished. The Baron was stopped for now. We can see here Aeon is pinging to try and check that they do not try and continue that Baron again. Very much what I said in the champ select on the side of Genesis. They've got an all-in composition with Dracarys firing from that backline. Nick Wolf will be spotted from a sweeper from Pendragon. They know his position. They know he's near Dragon. And if they didn't before, now they definitely know as he's clearing the wards. In terms of itemization here, we see from top lane Ravenous Hydra coming through, both basically equal on the stacks. Lifesteal will be coming through hectically already from the Camille and the Fiora, but with the Ravenous Hydra and the Divine Sungrewer, the healing is unprecedented. Thank God that they are going to be upping the Grievous Wounds in the next coming patches. No worries, no worries. Looks like a skirmish coming through here as both teams trying to figure out who's going to try and get to this Baron first. Thank you for the follow, Bubbles to carry. Single tracks and Guy here in mid lane duking it out, trying to keep them occupied. While the skirmish is going on near Baron, Guy was trying to push mid lane. Single tracks knew something like that would try and happen, was able to try and block the push. Guy trying to go in for the trade, but Single tracks' true damage in response for that is extremely high. Now, question is, what does Aeon attempt to do here with this wall of Yordle snap traps? They look to move in. Pancake moving in, doing an insane amount of damage onto Cappy. Turns around. The ultimate from Nick Zora catches Motmatiel out. However, Nick Wolf going in, knocking them up. The Jin ult coming through, hitting on every single member. Down goes Single tracks. Nick Zora trying to take out Guy as a response. The damage coming through from Guy, however, Nick Zora is getting hammered. Does manage to peel back enough for Pendragon and Pancake to take him out. Aeon will move down to Dragon as a response, hoping that Genesis will instead just try and take the Baron, or at least back from the damage they took. This does mean a Dragon will go over to the side of Aeon, who has seemed to be doing better on objectives lately compared to Genesis. That is a confirmed Dragon. And that is Soul for the side of Aeon. Fiora is indeed scary with those Ravenous Hydra stacks for the extra healing and the cooldown reduction, with the damage as well. Divine Sundero as well with extra healing. It'll keep you alive in fights for way longer than you think it would. Even Ignite can only do so much. However, with Soul going towards Aeon, What does Genesis try to do in response to this? You can see a lot of vision around Baron coming through from Aeon. Genesis trying to do the same, hoping they don't get caught out though, moving as a team very much together. Cappy did notice that Pendragon was trying to take out the wards, did try and poke out... well, moving in, Pancake does get the stun. Cappy will have to go golden. Does Pendragon help there? Singletrax was able to TP, but it's a second too late. Pancake has already gone down. Nick Wolf has found Singletrax. He is caught out of position now. Rooted, taken down. Insane lockdown and team play on a single target. That will be Baron for the side of Aeon, unless a steal can come through. From the side of Genesis, it doesn't look like they're looking to steal, all backing to try and go and defend. As we see here, they're looking to push mid lane and bot lane with the pings coming through from the side of Aeon. Genesis will try their best to defend mid lane against these empowered minions from the Baron, while Hello will move to the top lane and help Fiora take out these towers after he's cleared out the top jungle.
Hello, Mr. Emu. I have come to assist you.
Ah, thank you very much.
Alright, could you pop me a stream on Discord? So
Yes, sir, will do.
Lit. Let's go.
There we are.
Alright,
I've been trying my best here.
I kept it on, like, kept the second screen on while we were playing our game. Looks lit. Looks good. Yeah, as we see a lot of this Genesis really putting up a good game here. They did, unfortunately. I see they lost Soul.
Yeah, they did. The strong part about Aeon's side here is they've got a lot of lockdown and single target damage, so they are able to, once they find someone out of position, take them out extremely quickly, and that leaves Genesis at a disadvantage for the rest of the fight.
But I do see, but I think, like what you were covering earlier, the comp is very heavy engaged. I am thoroughly surprised that they let Nick Zora play Kiana. Like, he has not been able to play Kiana in such a long time, so... Putting him on that, like him paired with the Echo and the Camille, they pick a target and that guy is just dead. And
exactly.
The Caitlyn can sit at the back, kind of just chill, auto attack, and be fine.
Indeed, I pointed this out in Champs, like they do have some strong engage from Zora and Pancake. Pancake. The thing is, they needed some kind of tanky engage as well, which is where Singletrax came through with the Camille. Guy will be able to get out safely though.
Yeah. No, I've noticed Singletrax on this Camille is rather deadly, rather dangerous, is generally the point of the ban here. He either gets the Camille or gets the Darius banned, so... He's the kind of top laner that if you don't just lose lane to him, like he beats you. He makes you suffer even after the laning phase is over. Yes,
very much. Like, he is able to find those advantages and very much abuse them to his own gain. Seems here guy is trying to hide just outside of vision for Singletrax to leave the lane so he can continue pushing it as soon as they disappear.
We do have to keep an eye out, like we've reached that point in the game. Gold is dead even. If one of these carries is out of position, Nick Zora and Flood Pancake will absolutely one-shot them without a doubt.
I completely agree. A fight coming through here with Singletrax and Guy. The true damage from Singletrax...
It's just a battle of true damage here.
Exactly. Resurrection does come through from the GA. Singletrax will be taken down. Floppy Pancake coming in to clean up though. Jakari is pumping out as much damage as possible. Those headshots doing so much damage.
Yeah, because Caitlyn right now is sitting on 4 items, very capable of taking down these tanks very easily.
Although while they were dealing with bot lane, mid lane is being pushed as a distraction.
You've got it's a bit of a downside here coming out for Genesis here. Echo is looking for a possible engage on any of these carries, but needs to be very careful of Material on this.
Will have to pop the ultimate to survive. Not sure if that was necessary. Might have just been a panic decision.
But at this point in this game, Echo's ulti is on a very short cooldown, sitting at around 30 to 40 seconds, so it is not the end of the world if the Echo has to burn his ult. Like you can already see now, it's just over halfway. He's about to have it up again. I think it's, at this point, you could use it for safety, if absolutely necessary.
Aeon, knowing that Genesis has to defend their mid lane, they're going to be moving to the Elder here, seeing if they can secure it. However, Genesis does seem to be trying to contest this as well, as you see them moving through their jungle, clearing it of all vision.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it safe as possible. They are moving onto this Elder. This Elder will likely decide
Do they
the
catch
game.
Cappy? Dark Root coming through from Cappy catches Pancake out. However, Jacaries has to watch
Yeah,
out.
it's very dangerous. Did have vision, did drop the E onto the Wukong. Wukong uses the cloak.
However,
Palmer
Pendragon's
is
caught
dangerous.
out. Montiel and Guy.
Echo does have the dub. Does
Zora
have the
coming
Chrono Break.
through with the ultimate.
Massive display of what fuck off here. The supreme display of talent coming out from the Kiana, doing massive amounts of damage. Echo having to still having to use the Chrono Break.
Single Tracks was
Echo
caught
very
out
much
there
trying to
though.
do damage. Yeah, it seems like it's a 4 members of Genesis do fall just for Mateel, and it seems like this game is going to go to Aeon.
Indeed, they don't look to be going for the Elder. Instead, they'll just go straight for the end. Dracarys will try his best to defend this. The ultimate coming through, but it will be blocked by his teammates.
And there's just too many. There's too many.
Oh!
What that damage?
A trade does come through, but sadly it's not enough. The spawns are too high in terms of respawn. They will just go for the Nexus and take the game. That is a GG over to the side of Aeon. Did not see that one coming, to be perfectly honest.
From what I collect, the game looked like it was very close up until the very end. Very, very tight-knit game, and I hope to see Genesis make the comeback like they did yesterday.
Very, very scary team fights coming through there. I feel like in that last fight, Genesis was a little scattered, a little unsure of how to approach this. And it seems like Aeon knew exactly how to hide a trap in their jungle and catch them off guard.
I feel like the Echo was their biggest point of contention. Echo pick was always really, really good. Always nice. Always landing the W, landing the stun. Really good AoE setup for the Kiana as well. The supreme display of talent, also one of the key aspects of killing the team itself with a massive AoE. It does, knocking into a wall. They want to fight in the jungle, but it just seems as Cassio made it too difficult for this Kiana.
At the same time, though, as much as Genesis had the stuns with the Echo W and the supreme display of talent on the Kiana, at the same time, if you look at the other side, I mean, they also wanted to fight in jungle. The Wukong knockup is not something to be overlooked there. That will disrupt an entire team, allowing a Jhin to just sit in the back and snipe from a distance, taking out target by target. It is a dangerous combo for both sides, both wanting to fight in the jungle to pull out that damage, and it seems like Aeon just had enough to pull through compared to Genesis.
I think particularly letting the Kiana through might have been a dangerous move, but I think they were very prepared for the Kiana. They picked up the Cassio, kind of nullifying the Cassio's potential. I mean, nullifying the Kiana's potential for any dashes. I mean, you just pick Cassio to any champion with dashes, and considering 90% of the mid laners that exist ever have got like 25 dashes, Cassio is probably one of the best picks they could have picked here into this Kiana.
Yeah, it was a very one-sided fight at the end there. I mean, they tried as much as possible to try and get the trades back. However, it just at that point everything had already fallen apart. You can't pull back what has already broken. It completely dismantled them at the end.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we just gotta hope that Genesis can put up another fight once again, and hopefully they'll be reset their mental, give us a game like last night, and bring it to a draw. I think Kiana is quite a comfort pick for Nick Zora, but Aeon having the counter pick for it was very, very smart move. Kind of saves them a ban, if they will. But I feel very, very sure that the Cassio will be banned from the side of Genesis.
Thank you, Nick Wolf, for the follow. Thank you, Justin, for the follow.
It's a pleasure, dude. I don't think I have you as a friend on Steam. I mean, on League, so I need to add you. There we go.
There we go.
Right.
I don't see any invites so far for a game 2.
We'll find out, because I know some peeps, they might have load shedding. I just came back from my game with Tempo. We're gonna probably resume that game later this week. On Monday there'll be a game against we have our second game against Zenith, and we'll likely have our second game against Tempo this week, and then this coming week will be Solstice games, and then we should hopefully be done. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm guessing it's I'm Guy for the follow.
Yes, that is Mr. Guy.
See, Cappy's come back online. Might move on to the second game soon.
I think Cappy was just having a couple of internet issues. He was pinging his internet a lot during that fight.
I did notice that, yes.
So it's a bit strange, but hopefully he's able to get it up and running.
Thank you very much, Pokemon Emerald 1 for the follow.
Oh, do you like? Because I've just literally just scoped your Twitter now with your streams and whatnot. You're asking Imagine Dragons for them to do Warrior to more League stuff. I think they will. They probably will be doing. They'll probably do another song for Arcane.
Most likely, yeah.
I think it'd be pretty dope. But are you seeing them when they come to South Africa next week?
I
Well,
would
not
very
next week,
much
the week
love
after.
to, but I don't think we have the budget for it, to be perfectly honest. It is quite a pricey show. Well, all shows
Yeah.
are pricey, but yeah.
I was lucky to get early on, so I'm very excited for that. They're gonna be performing Arcane live. They're gonna be performing all the Arcane songs.
Oh,
By all the Arcane
nice.
songs, I mean one because there's
Yeah.
one.
I've only been to one concert in my life, and that was the Ed Sheeran one a couple years ago.
I would have loved to have gone to that one.
Oh, it was a beautiful concert. I mean, the voice of his is just as good as it is recorded. Is practically no difference.
I feel like his voice unaltered is just still absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, it was.
Like one thing also is he did a song with Bring Me the Horizon actually.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so his Ed Sheeran song "Bad Habits," he performed with Bring Me the Horizon. They did like a Bring Me the Horizon version, so he sang it with
wow.
Bring Me the Horizon, and it was dope. Like that's one of my favorite songs by
Oh,
by
wow,
Bring Me
okay.
the Horizon, and it's not even their song. Alright, I just need to work on a few things. But how soon do you think we're gonna possibly get into game 2? I think they're just maybe sorting out internet stuffs.
Not too sure. Maybe I'll have to just message Cappy and see what's going on. Ah, there we are.
Ah, there we go.
All right. Let me move over into the spectate side.
Alright, I need to make sure I've not clicked onto the Lunar Reveal 2023 because that sound is gonna drive me mad. Alright, so what do we think is gonna be coming out in terms of bans for either of these teams?
I definitely think that Wukong is going to be gone. Wukong was a very, very dangerous pick to let through just because of that mass amount of CC he can pull through and disable a team. The Echo was a bit of a problem, but I think it was a manageable problem.
Yeah,
they were able to deal with them.
The Casio was pretty good to deal with the Echo and the Kiana, so
yeah.
they're looking to run those champs again. It is likely going to be a Casio ban.
I think a lot of the bans will be standard from the first game as well. I think a lot of them will just come through once again, maybe leading it a bit more towards this comp again.
Yeah, that's true. Like we're gonna maybe Floppy might try and not switch onto the Echo, might pull out something like the Lilia, might pull out the Zac, could even pull out something extra spicy. We might get the Velvet.
Yeah, the last game the Lilia and the Zac was banned as well as the Jax. So a lot of the bans were very much targeted at their counter laner. The Mordekaiser was also banned. The Mordekaiser was a very good ban because Mordekaiser not only being good in top lane has been dominating in the jungle as well. Very strong pick for taking out single champions during these fights. Ones that you think would carry during the fight while the rest of the team can deal with the rest of the team. The carry is in another realm, which you can then just deal with when he comes back out.
Yeah, that is true. Like, especially, I think they just need to play a much more team-orientated, like a full-on frontal team comp, where they defend one carry, everyone's like doing their best to keep the Caitlyn alive, or, for example, if Nick Zora is on a carry, like, he has been known to play the Victor, he has been known to play a lot of the control mages, has played a bit of the Orianna. I see Orianna is getting a bit of a rework, or like a bunch of ability changes. So
Okay.
picking up Orianna would actually be pretty good for the team.
So in terms of bans on what is most played and who has more skill and what champions, what do you think is going to be coming out here on your side?
So I know Dracarys, Nick Zora, and Flood Pancake personally. They're three of my best mates. Floppy will generally, he loves going for the Echo. Like you see, like in that game, I think you've very much reflected. His Echo is quite strong. Nick Zora, good on the Kiana, good on the Katarina, but will probably pick something that's a little bit more team fight based. So we'll pick for a scaling champ. He has been wanting to play Anivia. From what I collected, Anivia is quite a strong champion now because of the changes to Seraph's Embrace as well as Rod of Ages. And then Dracarys, yeah, he's a jack of all trades in that bot lane. He can play pretty much any ADC you put him on. Like you can put him on Vayne, you can put him on Caitlyn, Samira, but his definitely don't want to mess with him on his Jhin. His Jhin is really something.
So in terms of bot lane, you wouldn't want to then waste a ban on a bot lane that can basically play every kind of champion. You'd instead try to put your focus on some other lane and shut down another lane's picks.
I think they're definitely going to be looking to ban out the top side of the map because bot lane can play quite safe. Pendragon is pretty experienced in a lot of supports. Aside the fact that he is quite a pike enjoyer. He is the pike enjoyer. Yeah, I think Nick Zora, Float Punker against single tracks are going to be the keys to Genesis' success in this game.
I did very much like the Karma pick into what they were because of the ability to disengage and engage when you need to, being able to R and then E the entire team, put that shield on the entire team and move them in as soon as possible, especially on a dive comp they had. It could have worked very well if they did not have a good response on the other side with the anti-dive comp they went.
Yeah, like I think as much as their dive comp worked out very well, I think with them all diving in, it leaves the Caitlyn extremely vulnerable. Like the Karma can do only so much with all these people that are going to be jumping onto their backline, like this Wukong. Like you can't dive on a Wukong. He's just gonna use his clone on you.
And having said that, now we seem to be moving into the picks and bans. Lilia taken out first. That is a counter to Floppy Pancake. We know he loves that Lilia and has been doing very well on it.
So I think that is going to be a ban for bot lane. Or like, who's that? It's on Guy. No, that's not Guy. They're banning it away from Hello.
Very much same bans coming through from last game, the Nami as well. Very, very strong support. Being able to single target as well, those bubbles are something you want to be very careful of.
So they see they did ban away the Zac, did ban away the Lilia, so they are going to be heavily prioritizing banning away Floppy Pancake. And then obviously Pike from Pendragon, do not want him on this champion, is a reset mastermind. But final bans, what are we going to see? I think I would not be surprised if we saw the Cassio ban, or maybe even the Cassio.
There it is, the Cassiopeia ban. The Swain coming through first pick.
I mean,
or the side of Aeon.
Ban must have been surely Aeon were expecting the ban coming out of the Cassio, and disabling a lot of the carries. But that is going to be
Akshan for Nick Zora.
Mr. Nick Zora, yeah. His famous line, I will recite it for you. He goes, "Akshan is coming." Every time he gets a kill or shows up, man is very scary on this champion. Very good at abusing his lane, or asserting his lane dominance. Good with his roams. Allows him to pair up with Floppy Pancake and make plays around the map.
The strong part about Akshan as well, being able to revive your players, means you can quickly move to objectives if you do end up winning that team fight and losing some teammates. Caitlyn coming through as well for the side of Genesis.
Yeah, Caitlyn obviously putting Dracarys on something comfortable once again. Was very good on this. Caitlyn was not a bad pick, but Jhin to counteract it.
This was exactly the same as last game. So far, picks and bans almost exactly the same. Only differences so far as we see the Swain come through, we see the Akshan come through. Those were the ones that were immediately removed in terms of last game's bans.
Yeah, but see, like, obviously, it seems like Aeon have a very set team comp that they're capable of playing. Putting Cappy on this Morgana, putting Hello on a Jhin, very lethal bot lane, very good at getting picks. Caitlyn just going to try and abuse that range, just going to try and put them in an assertive position so they can come out of lane fades smoothly.
Exactly like I said with the last game when we got to the picks and bans, Morgana is a very strong champ with the Jhin. The double lockdown that can come through from the Q of the Dark Binding as well as the root from Jhin after that has landed. Karma does come through, same bot lane for both sides as last game. The issue with the Morgana is if you do get caught out, you are going to be staying there for a very long time. Expect an AFK warning.
Yeah, dude, easily. Like if this Morgana plays her cards right, you go Q, you go Everfrost, you ulti Q Everfrost, and that's like 9 seconds of CC. Like easily uber broken.
Diana
Definitely don't
ban
wanna
coming
mess
through.
with that must be getting taken away from Mateel here.
Once again, the Mordekaiser ban, like I said previously, very strong in not only top lane but jungle as well. It is a very good flex ban.
Yeah, that is very good flex ban as well, taken away from both jungle and from the top lane.
The Fiora coming through is a little
I think
unexpected.
maybe single tracks maybe having a bit of trouble with that, especially with the Camille. Like they could just parry the hook shot very easily, and then the Camille is kind of just stuck there. So, but jungle wise, are we going to see? What are we going to see from Mr. Floppy Pancake in the jungle?
He's teasing us a little bit here with these hovers.
He would have brought out the Skarner again. Is he not going to bring it out? Tell me he's going to bring out
Does he land the Sejuani?
Skarner.
Sejuani
It is
very
Sej.
strong.
I mean, it was one of his particularly strong champions he did when he did his first climb up to gold, along with Skarner. So, and he's going to be, he's going to be flexing that Victoria Sejuani. But yeah, really liking this team comp. Is a lot. It's got better frontline, better peel.
Irelia locked in there, I assume for Guy.
That is probably going to end up on Guy, yes, because it's Swain is probably going to go mid. That is going to be Irelia top lane, and then jungler is actually a
Do we lock in the Jarvan?
It's going to be a very this is going to be very team fight based junglers here. So they're not going to be particularly looking to fight one another, but rather just to play for the team fights.
Swaps to Maokai last second. Maokai has been very strong lately. AP Maokai jungle has been very good thanks to that ultimate being sped up. The amount of lockdown you can get on an entire team in team fights is quite dangerous, as well as the burn really taking your health down fast.
Yeah, and particularly right now with the current changes that happened to tank items, Radiant Virtue is one of the stronger tank items, and Maokai and Sejuani are both very good abusers of said tank items.
Darius coming through with a side of single tracks. I feel like that was a mistake leaving that open.
Yeah, you don't want to give single tracks at Darius.
I mean,
it's his signature champion. It's his most comfortable champion.
Exactly.
Too.
If we go back to the interview we had in the last games, he loves his Darius. He's able to snowball extremely well with this champion.
Especially if he's able to get ahead, their tanks will mean nothing to him. He will eat you alive. Synergizes extremely well with the Sejuani. With the melee passive, stacking up Sejuani's passive really easily with his melee attacks. I think it was a bit of a mistake for them to let that through.
Yeah, this can easily slip once again in the side of either team here, depending on how they play it in the early game.
Yeah, he's just at this point, Darius is going to try and abuse Aurelia a lot as early as possible, and then with time, it's just going to get harder and harder for you to deal with this Darius.
Right, as we move into the spectator delay, let's just analyze this a little bit more. Now, in terms of team fight ability here, which one would you say would have the better team fights?
Oh, okay, so this is it's particularly obvious with the Maokai. Makes the team fights a hell of a lot easier. Swain as well. Swain and the Maokai do make Aeon's team comp a little bit more appetizing in terms of a full-on 5-man team fight. But you gotta remember, 3 members of their team are quite squishy. This Darius, all he takes is one reset. Okay, they don't have a lot of range other than maybe the Jhin abilities, as there's 2 melees, short range jungler. Short range mid lane and short range support. So as long as the Karma is able to give this Caitlyn enough peel, Akshan and this Darius will just eat through this team.
I agree. I mean, the dangerous part here is that really the only proper front line that they have would be that Irelia, as she builds a lot more bruiser compared to a lot of the rest of the team. Swain could be considered an AP bruiser, although the only time you really see him get his survivability is when he's in his R form. Now, on the other side, though, you have the Darius, who is able to build a lot of tank and dish out that damage at the same time, while you also have the Sejuani, who is a very strong front line, able to go in, lock people down, and easily disengage when they need to. There's a lot of peel here on the side of Genesis to be able to protect the squishies in the backline. However, compared to the side of Aeon, you really need to try and keep your distance on that Jhin. However, the Darius pull is enough range for that to catch that Jhin as he's trying to use his auto attacks. You got to remember the Jhin attack speed doesn't really increase, meaning he has to stand still for those auto attacks.
Under the impression that Jhin will maybe build a bit more movement speed base if he did opt for the fleet footwork. We'll be able to kite out a little bit, but the Darius Hemorrhage will be quite dangerous, especially level 1. Like, there really has to be very careful with the Darius Hemorrhage. He'll do a lot of damage, the blood stacks. And then once he hits 5 stacks of those, plus an Noxian Guillotine, it's game over, bro.
I very much agree on that. Aurelia's going to have a very tough time trying to take on this Darius. It is going to be a war of attrition here for this Aurelia to try and survive until the late game and see if you can make it through in the team fights. I do very much prefer the Genesis comp here, and it seems chat does as well. They have voted for Genesis being the victors in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I very much do agree. Like, Genesis right now, their team comp does look pretty good here. I mean, especially the Calm Appeal. Calm, I'm assuming, is going to be running the Radiant Virtue. Will be very good in giving all that max health, all that healing and cooldown reduction. Yeah, we're just gonna see how this goes. I think it's a matter of execution. If Genesis is able to execute their comp correctly, they'll be able to stomp down onto Aeon.
Yeah, I don't think it could be said any better than that. You see the Victorious Sejuani is coming through.
Oh, damn.
Luna Wraith Caitlyn.
I think Victorious Sejuani could step on me at any point in time. Say what?
Right, let's get everything sorted out here in terms of scoreboard and time controls being turned off, objective timers as well. Back to directed camera. Let's see how this starts in the beginning of the game. Do they go for an invade? You see Genesis is starting to ping to watch that bot side entrance. Meanwhile, the entire team here seems to be moving topside. Do they have the early advantage here? I would be very careful trying to take an early advantage against Darius.
Yeah, but right now, in terms of crowd control, you really don't want to be facing that Morgana Q. And Swain drops the E. Jhin will pick W, or Maka will pick W.
They don't know yet.
Yeah, there's no vision. They have no idea.
Darius might be able to catch them here. Single tracks. Do you spot them?
There are no wards.
Oh no,
Floppy.
This is bad.
Oh no, Floppy. It seems like they might have figured out. They might have been spotted on.
They catch him on the ward. Yes. Single tracks luckily is out of there, as well as Pancake. Do not get caught out. They do manage to ward by his Raptors though. They do have vision on that when Pancake does move up there.
But I think right now the Akshan will try and look to get the early push. We'll try and look for roams along with the Sejuani here.
Single tracks does come down through with the counter ward on the blue side for Aeon.
Oh, that Darius is... Oh my gosh, I know what that Darius is gonna do. He's in that bush, he's waiting to cheese.
Trades coming through from Zora and Matmatil.
Okay, so Darius was looking for the cheese, but Aurelia did not start the leash, so the cheese does not happen for the Darius.
Root does land on Zora. Not enough early damage for it to mean anything though. You do want to be very careful of the Akshan damage. Oh, a little bit of a freeze. I think the one
mechanic also got to be extremely careful of is that the Akshan revive.
Exactly, yeah.
Particularly if the
Dark Binding does go wide.
Someone Jhin gets a quadra kill, it's just game over. See,
3 stacks of bleed already.
Yeah, the Hemorrhage is going to be doing a lot of damage to this Irelia, especially in the early game.
4 stacks.
He did opt for the Decimate as the first fighter. Does drive the E, does the apprehend.
Are you going to have to flash? No, you do not. You managed to get out of there safely. But that does mean you're going to be zoned off of your farm extremely hard.
Yeah, I think this was
Dark Binding goes wide.
For the side of
the Carries is a little caught out here, gets rooted out. Does Cappy follow up with another Dark Binding? Ignite dropped on Dracarys.
Looks like there might be a flash. Jin is trying to stack up fourth
Ignite
shot.
dropped on Hello. Dark Binding did hit Dracarys. He was not able to follow up on Hello after he was ignited. The root does land on Dracarys. Dracarys is not able to take this fight. However, Pendragon seems to think otherwise.
Yeah, double
Flash!
like,
Fourth
lands.
shot!
The
onto
Whisper doing
Dracarys.
the execute damage.
That
Thank goodness.
will be first blood over to Hello. The Flash is burned, however. Both suns gone.
This Darius is absolutely menacing right now. But especially in that bot lane fight, you gotta be very careful with Jin's passive with the Whisper. It does gain execute damage on that fourth shot. You do not want to be faced with that. As Nick Wolf is looking for something in the top side, but Sejuani is there.
Oh no. Oh no. You mustn't hit anybody under tower, otherwise he's gonna take it. Guy does take a bit of damage. Pancake is here to follow up though. Single Tracks will not be able to follow up. He was ignited from Guy. That is an ignite down on top lane. However, only a trade of a flash on Single Tracks.
Yeah, so Single Tracks does trade ignite, and then the Darius does lose flash. Is still gonna utilize the ghost. I think, yeah, there needs to be a bit more respect put onto this Darius. Like Irelia is definitely not respecting him the way he should.
Montmatiel does spot Pancake on the ward, does able to damage him quite a bit. Will stop the back. Instead, Pancake will try and go for the bot scuttle.
Yeah, so it seems Morgana and the Jin are pinging to likely go and contest it. Makai is there just finishing off his Raptors.
Will be spotted on the ward. However, Pancake is able to grab this. Does he get hit by a Dark Binding? Q's out of there just in time. Will have to use his flash, however.
Deadly Flourish does connect, but Mantra Q doing quite a bit of damage there. But Black Shield always there to save the day.
Oh, that's not what you want to happen to you.
No, yeah, Nick Zora, you don't want to see that.
There's the
Deadly
AFK warning coming through on Dracarys.
Yeah, the Deadly Flourish plus Dark Binding combo is absolutely deadly for Dracarys here.
Luckily, Hello has the capability to push out this wave before it fully hits the tower.
And as indicated, the Hello did opt for the fleet footwork. We'll be able to kite these people out a little bit easier, and hopefully make it through.
Pendragon really coming through with the damage though on the Arcane Comet.
No, but they do need to be very careful. This Maokai is here. I don't know if there's a ward. Pendragon is in a bit of a dangerous spot
He
right
gets
now.
caught
Deadly
out.
Flourish lands.
Nick Wolf is going to be able to lock him down as well. That is a kill over to Hello. 2-0 on the bot lane already at just pre 6 minutes.
The Deadly Binding, as I want to call it at this point. The Deadly Flourish plus the Dark Binding is the Deadly Binding. Because you're probably going to die if it hits you. Or if either hits you.
Absolutely brutal combo.
Yeah, I'm one of the better combos with the Jin. Very easy to get the W. Something as simple as dropping the Corrupted Soil can
We see
very
pings
easily
coming
set
through
up
here on Pancake there. They did spot him on a ward in the river. Pancake will try his best to remedy the situation, trying to lock them down, but they're
Zora is
locking in
trying to
reverse.
grab it.
Pancake will be caught out. He goes down. Zora's going to have to try and get out of there.
Swain does basically go godlike. Jin is
Can pull him back out of the tower.
Does have fourth shot and will take a double kill.
4-0 on a Jin in the early game. However, Single Tracks is able to get the trade in top lane, at least make it somewhat worth it.
Yeah, the knock, just like literally, it's all it is. You just the apprehend, the auto attack into the Noxian guillotine, and it's game over, bro. You don't beat that Darius.
The damage coming through from Montmatiel onto Pendragon does land the root. Will he be able to do enough to completely scare him away from tower? No, it looks like he will try and defend enough for Zora to get back there in time to take the farm. Single Tracks pushing the farm under tower and is going to recall from top lane.
Yeah, but this Swain is one of one of the more popular mid laners for South Africans to be playing. Because one of the best Swains in the world is actually from South Africa. Funny enough.
Oh wow!
I think it's African Dream. He peaked around Grandmaster Masters on that Swain. Very dangerous, very scary. But he since did move to the United Kingdom, so that probably is also proving a bit of an advantage. But yeah, Swain is quite strong. Sealard also picking up some of his games. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to be seeing a lot more of this Swain in the future.
See Cappy trying to gank mid, see if he can catch Zora out of position. However, Zora is able to camouflage and basically get away from there undetected. Things are coming through in bot river, however, it looked like Pancake wanted to try and contest that gank and maybe move on to Dragon afterwards, but nothing could be done there.
Is Irelia is definitely. Oh, that was not.
Yeah,
the move.
Guy is underestimating
that was not
here.
the move, Guy.
Pops the ultimate to try and heal, but however, he's going to be taking tower shots. He's dead. That's it. Game over.
Yeah, that's a double. That's 2 kills going on for single tracks. That is a lot of. There's a lot of minions that he's going to be missing because Darius will be able to push that wave very easily. Yeah, this is now Darius is in a very commanding position here, but despite his team not being in the best position right now, Darius can very much 1v9 these kinds of games.
Dark Binding and Deadly Flourish coming through on Pendragon. Did not take too much damage though. Morgana not really there on items enough for that damage to hurt too much.
Did opt to rush for the Mobies. Probably they're going to be opting to roam a little bit more. But yeah, there's not going to be any extra damage, but we do get the spamming of Mastery.
We can already see the speed in place there on Cappy as he was moving back and forth. It is insane already.
Yeah, he's definitely looking for a lot more roams. Akshan did try and get the little extra poke.
Fourth shot onto Pendragon does hit. Flourish lands. Cappy, does he try and go for the Dark Binding? No, would not be able to get it through the minions.
Jin does have the curtain call.
Dark Binding is down. If Dracarius was to go in, now would be the time.
Yeah, but I think it's very careful. I think right now for Hello, he is in a very commanding position. Does have the ultimate, but with Dracarius full health, it's very unlikely he's going to pull it out. Morgana's just going to clear some minions, leave Jin here to farm a bit more.
Meanwhile, Genesis is taking Rift Herald.
Opt for the Rift Herald, yeah.
Does end up smiting it in time. Nickwolf is now caught out of position. However, Motmatil is coming to try and assist. Pancake is very, very low. Has to get out of there. Flash.
Every dying does on the flash, but doesn't get any. Single tracks is there. Very desperately trying to get the 5 stacks. Does not manage to get the execute.
That is a shutdown going over to Motmatil. Not what you want to see on the side of Genesis.
Yeah, this Darius was so fed. The fact that the Darius giving his shutdown to someone who is already strong is just the last thing you would want.
What you thought was catching out the enemy jungle turned out to actually be a beautiful bait from the side of Aeon.
Yeah, exactly. They did not pick up the Herald. Unfortunately, that did go over to the side of Genesis, but I don't know if it was a very worthwhile trade. This guy is very happy to tank tower shots nowadays.
Dark Binding goes wide. Deadly Flourish, will it come through though? 2 targets to hit it on.
Yeah, Jin is going to get out of position.
Flash ult coming in from Cappy. Lands the stun.
Damage. Caitlyn, they're just going to kill him. It's going to be a double kill for this Caitlyn.
Oh. What?
Oh.
What? The prediction on the pathing there. That was beautiful.
Absolutely massive play coming out from the bot lane of Genesis here. Pendragon baiting out the 4th shot with the shield. The Caitlyn sitting back, getting the auto, stacking up that lethal tempo. Absolutely amazing play coming around from the spot lane.
Now Gale Force already picked up here for Hello. Meanwhile, it seems like Single Tracks is moving towards that Stride Breaker.
Yeah, so Stride Breaker is generally something you would opt for on the Darius, as it does give you that little bit extra damage, does give you a slow as well, so you're allowed to get more autos down. But
Rift Herald was dropped top, mostly taking out the top tower. Does he continue pushing though? Or do they start moving down for a roam in the mid lane?
See, the Swain is definitely going to be a bit of a problem here for this team here.
Cappy hiding in the bush, lands a Dark Binding. Nick Zora now trying to keep Pendragon alive, however, there is just too much damage.
The Demonic Ascension is just too much. They're able to keep it active.
Guy
Darius
once
is gonna be
again
fighting.
deciding to try and fight Single Tracks.
Cappy does tank.
Goes golden.
Go golden. Alright, so Irelia made it out of that fight top lane. Somehow. Yeah, there's a bit of very chaotic fights happening on both sides of the map here, and despite all of this, the gold lead is not very different. It's only about 500 gold.
Yeah, it's very one-sided on certain sides of the map. On bot lane, you've got a huge advantage on Hello. However, if you look at top lane, Single Tracks is pulling ahead in terms of items. Only a Vamp Scepter, Pickaxe, and 2 daggers on the side of Irelia. However, a full Stride Breaker and a Null Magic Mantle on the side of Single Tracks.
I do think especially with this item right now, Doris is not to be messed with. But Aurelia, once she picks up Bork, she is basically full build. I think anyone who knows who's played against Aurelia knows exactly what it's like to deal with a Blade the Rune King.
Cappy starting to move around. Does find Floppy Pancake in the jungle. They know to be careful of a gank now. Singletrax does look to be making his way down bot lane. Will he try and assist with the dragon coming up in 10 seconds? Now we do have Chemtech Dragon for the second dragon coming up. Very, very strong token with the tenacity as well as the heal and shield power coming through on the tokens.
Those abilities come out. Motmatil does land the Nevermore, does prevent it.
Dark Binding coming through onto Pancake. That will shut down the push.
Permafrost is blocked by the Black Shield. So that is no ultimate on the Sejuani here. It's a very crucial element to catch out people, but right now
They will start
Dark
up
Binding
Drake.
lands, Deadly Flourish lands, and the AFK warning
Demonic
comes out.
Ascension coming through from Motmatil. Nixora has to zipline out of there. Floppy Pancake also taking a lot of damage there from Curtain Call. Singletrax trying to do what he can.
Singletrax is able to take down the
Singletrax is down.
Singletrax does fall.
Does Neckwolf go down as well? Hello,
Akshan.
taking all that ultimate from Akshan.
Very much trying to use the comeuppance just to try and revive his team. Like very much staying out of the way.
Dark Binding goes wide. Lots of damage coming from Dracarys. Gale Force forward. The dragon will be picked up for Genesis. He flashes forward to try and get Dracarys. Does not manage to pick up the kill. That right there is a revive for Singletrax. He can now go and defend top lane much sooner.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were expecting. These kinds of mechanics that they're abusing in this game right now with the Akshan revive, as well as the Caitlyn flash Gale Force auto attack. Absolutely exceptional play coming out from Dracarys.
Looks like Motmatil will try and defend this tower. However, Pancake, what I thought would be moving topside to try and take care of this Aurelia, will be going into the jungle dealing with the Raptors, trying to farm up a bit more. We do see the Heartsteel on the Pancake there. Very strong item, very good scaling with the HP, which of course Sejuani has a decent amount of HP scaling on her abilities.
Yeah, I do think in this case it is the item to make a move on. Proteon did get a bit of a hard nerf. And Radiant is also, realistically, it's not always the most optimal item in this case. So I think it's a very good item coming out from the Sejuani. We see the Kraken Slayer coming out for the Akshan here.
Mid tower will fall for Genesis.
Tanks. Yeah, it's like right now, very dead even spot. Only about 2,000 gold lead right now for Aeon. But very, very tight rope kind of game. Like they could literally, this game is a coin flip. It could go either way. Trap comes out. Dark Binding does go wide.
Deadly Flourish as well.
Lands. Great use of the 90 caliber net. I think it's called either 90 or 50. I can't remember.
It's 90, I do believe.
Yeah, the 90 caliber net doing his best.
Headshot doing some good damage onto Hello. Looks like they will be starting Rift Herald on the side of Genesis again. Do they catch this one as well? You see Swain Motmatil is pinging the Rift Herald. They do know that something's going on there, but it's a bit too late.
Flash Q coming out from Cappy, but Dracarys will pick that kill up.
Gale Force forward to try and dodge the Deadly Flourish. It did land, however, but Dracarys is able to get away. Pendragon a little too far forward, will have to flash away. Curtain Call coming out here. Does he pick up a kill?
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Dracarys very low.
Desperate trying to get out.
Hits Pendragon for the first shot, not enough to take him out, however. Deadly Flourish trying to finish that off. Pancake is moving bot to see if he can defend this tower. Pendragon has to be very careful here. Nixora also coming down.
Excellent rotations coming out from the side here as the Permafrost does land onto the Maokai. Comeuppance is coming out from the Akshan as well, and they're unfortunately
Cappy's here, be careful the tower dive.
Not the best tower dive, not the best tower dive. Morgana, despite two people being low here.
Motmatil's here, misses the stun.
I think it's called Never Move. Is it?
Never move?
I think it's called Never Move. I'll check it for you. Yeah, so Swain's E is called the Never Move.
Okay, cool. Zora is kind of caught out there. Ignite is dropped on him. Has to flash away from the Dark Binding. I don't think that would have landed, however.
I think in that case you fear the lollipop. Don't even take the chance. Like at that point, just flash it. Doesn't matter. That lollipop hitbox on that Q can be very deceptive.
Meanwhile, Singletracks is putting a lot of pressure on mid lane, pushing it while all the other members of the team are bot lane. However, Hello seems to be wanting to get some solo XP in the top lane as he's catching this wave.
Xora is just still hanging around here. Swain does have the Demonic Ascension. Apprehend does not connect for Darius. Irelia ulti coming out along with the Maokai. Looks like Darius is not able to get the heal off.
Guy
Will
putting
take
out
a
some
lot of
damage. Will have to flash away from the route that Pendragon would be able to pull through. Guy getting a lot of healing from the Qs.
Yeah, this is
Stun
exactly
misses.
This is what I was saying. This Bork already is doing quite a bit of damage.
Oh!
It threads the needle. He threaded the needle. He took down the Irelia. Absolutely massive
Dark Binding
amount
misses.
of gold going towards this Caitlyn.
Pendragon once again coming through with that poke damage.
Yeah, Poke plus Radiant is doing mad amount of work. As they are going to opt to try and push down this
Dark
mid
Binding
tower.
does land on Pendragon, however. They are going to push forward to see if they can get Hello.
Oh, Permafrost goes wide.
Floppy Pancake has to be very careful here.
Nature's Grasp is not up for the Maokai. Does land the
Dudley
root.
Flourish misses as Nick Wolf is able to smack Floppy Pancake out of the way. Bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to be hearing. The Floppy Pudding desperately low. Does make it out, but
Singletracks is here zoning out the Dragon Pit as the team is trying to move down. Pendragon half health has to be very cautious about how he approaches this pit.
does have the Radiant is active and ready to go. Can just drop any of the R abilities and he will gain a little bit of that extra HP just to survive the fight. But right now uses what is this all? It's Vision of Empire. Uses the Vision of Empire just to grab some vision. Darius gets caught up by the electronics and the Dark Binding. Demonic Ascension comes out.
Curtain Call coming through. Hits Pendragon, takes out your carries. Singletracks is caught out in the open here. Pendragon's trying to escape, gets rooted, however. Motmatil is not willing to follow up. Pancake, is he going to follow through here? Once the the Heartsteel proc, and then holding just before the tower there.
I mean, how can you resist the lovely juiciness that is a Heartsteel proc?
It is a very, very juicy sound effect. I will let.
It's a very it really hits the nerves.
It pings in the ear beautifully.
So you do see the third Drake will be picked up for Aeon here.
Zora has to swing away. Knows that they're trying to push up this lane with Cappy and Motmatil trying to take out the Rift Herald. I believe that timer was about to run out, and that wave is dropped bot lane.
Yeah, I think at that point he just tried to drop just to get rid of it, so he can rather be more productive and use his Oracle rather than just holding onto the Rift Herald and not making much use of it. But yeah, I think the later the game goes, the more we're going to be relying on this pick potential coming out from the Permafrost, from the Sejuani, or even from the Darius Apprehend. But right now, it's very difficult for the side of Genesis.
We see here on the side of Genesis, though, we have full mythics already built. Stridebreaker into Heartsteel, into Kraken Slayer, Gale Force on the Caitlyn, and the Radiant Virtue on Karma. Once again, Radiant Virtue very, very strong on the Karma, being able to proc her Mantra in very quick succession.
Yeah, it can proc it quite frequently, and if taking the right runes, it can be put on like a 30-second cooldown. Floppy is caught out by 3 members.
Singletracks looking to try and assist, will go around instead.
I think they have accepted that the Sejuani might not be surviving this.
Singletracks was spotted.
Motmatil is caught out. Caitlyn actually are doing
Goes
better
golden
damage.
on Motmatil. Hello is waiting to see what he could do. He's going to have to move off. Singletracks is still caught out, however. Enough healing to try and sustain. Root onto Nick Zora.
That's amount of damage. Gotta be very careful. If this Irelia dies, that is going to be a revive. Never mind. The Comeuppance does not do much damage. Does get blocked.
Curtain Call comes out. Landing onto Pendragon, who's blocking it for Dracarys.
Yeah, Pendragon quite tanky now with the Radiant Virtue and the shields. Gonna be very, very difficult to do anything about that.
The looks of it, Aeon is looking to try and move to defend their bot lane, but instead they opt to move towards mid lane and try and push that as far as they can while the death timers were still resetting there.
Yeah, both mid lanes are very open, but still a tier 1 tower in the bot lane that needs to be taken down by Genesis. And I think the Darius is going to be able to get that top pretty easily. We'll be facing up against the Swain, but I think the Swain is an item up. Does have the plated steel caps. I almost called them Ninja Tabi again. It's never gonna leave my brain, man. It just never is. Yeah, the Swain's got a lot of armor, so it might be a bit tricky for this Darius to get anything done in this bot lane.
See the team here moving as a tight unit here. Will get caught out from the Jin trap. Well, not caught out, but spotted moving mid lane.
Single tracks.
Single tracks is caught out here.
Three members.
Ignite coming through from Cappy as well. A lot of CC coming through onto single tracks. Will try and survive with his Q. However, single tracks wasn't able to buy enough time. The Baron can be picked up here.
I think that's exactly what they wanted. They all went off opposite of the single tracks here. 3-4 members in the bot lane, so that's going to be a free Baron for Genesis.
They're going to have to trade that Baron, however, for the bot lane turret. Maybe even the mid lane. Hello, you can see in the corner there is pushing the mid lane quite hard with the 4th shots. They're looking to dive onto him. Never mind, they back off once they see Nick Wolf and Motmotil there. Cappy also moving in. Gaio taking the wolves from the jungle, denying the enemy jungler farm.
This Aurelia is going to be quite scary. Does have full bulk, is looking to be building the Ravenous Hydra. If you don't have any anti-heal, now is the time.
I will give it to Guy being able to pull back the CS after the really, really deadly early game that they had compared to single tracks.
Yeah, I think that Aurelia played it very smoothly, played it to the side lane, didn't try and force any aggressive fights with this Darius. And to this point now, actually didn't even offer the Rav, went straight into the shield bow. There's a lot of healing.
But as this fight goes on, Sejuani is just getting tankier and tankier. Soon we'll be able to basically take the entire front line of the enemy team. Nick Wolf will have to use the ultimate to try and disengage, however...
does connect him up and is trying to target, but does get cancelled by the Makai W.
That is not what you want to see 27 seconds before Dragon starting.
Hey, but as much as that you don't want to see that either, that shutdown going to the Karma, unfortunately the Caitlyn not able to get that final last hit.
However, Karma being able to dish out enough damage might even be a benefit here. I mean, the amount of AP damage on the side of Genesis isn't there. You want to get that Karma up and get that AP damage out.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. Actually, this Nick Zora is spotted out with the...
Pancake hit by Dark Binding. Motmotil trying to follow up with some damage. Not enough, though, as Pancake is very tanky. Do they move to Dragon here?
I think they are definitely arguing looking to while this Makai is still dead.
Oh
Makai
no,
is
Pendragon. Does he get hit with Deadly Flourish? Has to dodge. Is going to get caught out. Flashes over the wall to save themselves. However, Dragon is well and truly started.
It looks like Genesis will likely pick up this Dragon. There is no jungler to contest here. They are going to be looking to fight again. The Apprehend does land.
There's a very, very messy fight on both sides here.
Yeah, the Noxie Guillotine is not able to get the execute.
Aeon does seem to be coming out on top.
Yeah, the Demonic, you're just dealing with a Swain with Rylai's. This Demonic Embrace.
Gale forces forward, Flourish. 4th shot does come through, not enough to... Curtain Call comes out, however. Trying to hit Zora Pendragon.
The fight was very messy for the side of Genesis. Very difficult for them to get anything done. Swain just getting to the middle of all of them, dropping the Demonic Ascension, slowing everyone. Very, very hard for anyone to move with that ulti active.
Middle inhibitor will be taken. Do they push or inhib turrets? No, it seems that they're leaving. They know when to stop pushing as spawns are finally completing. Team is back up.
Yeah, but there are no objectives up, so I think it's just a matter of fighting for vision at this point. Because Q does land.
Oh, Guy called out.
Gonna look to try and get the stun. Guy is in a bit of danger. Darius gets the Noxian Guillotine reset. Permafrost does land.
Motmotil's down. Cappy is also caught out here. Can Nick Zora follow up with... Yes, he's going in.
Gets the swing reset, and that is a dead Morgana.
What seemed like really good team fights for the side of Aeon, picking out in terms of Genesis one by one is much to their favor on their side. They are able to find champion by champion, member by member, taking them out one by one, leaving them with basically nothing to defend on the side of Aeon. They're going to be pushing this mid lane out. However, Hello is going to try his best to defend.
I would very much believe that the Mr. Akshan was going, Akshan is coming, as he got that double kill.
Pancake looking for the flank here on Hello. He has stepped forward. Pancake coming through. Misses the flash Q. Does smite him to try and slow him down. However, we're getting pings here from Nick Wolf that he wants to go in. Ultimate does get dropped. Dracarys is rooted under tower. Taken out. Nick Wolf in the backline. Taking on Pendragon. They are able to return a kill. Zora stepping forward to take on Hello. Flashes. The Dark Binding is able to shut down Hello as a trade comes through on the 4th shot.
That is disgusting. The Jin with the 3 items right now. Very scary. Did fall. But with the Akshan dead, there is no chance of revival. The only people left up is the Darius and the Karma.
Phantom Dancer picked up on the Caitlyn. Oh, Dark Binding lands. Single Tracks looks like he's trying to zone them off. He is tanky enough to be able to handle quite a few of them at the same time. Just Single Tracks' presence alone was able to scare them away from mid lane.
A little bit of calm now before the storm. I think just over a 2,000 gold lead for the side of Aeon here. No objectives up just yet with Baron 30 seconds away. This is likely going to be the fight that decides the game.
Yeah, both teams very much one fight away from being able to push both inhibitor turrets. Oh, not even inhibitors, Nexus turrets, sorry. Baron coming up in 8 seconds. Mateel is caught out, will have to use a Demonic Ascension, but the amount of damage coming through, will he be able to get out before the team helps him?
Darius does have a full stack of the Hemorrhage.
Goes Golden. Nick Wolf coming in with the ultimate. Cappy hitting Dark Bindings.
Nevermore. Dark Bindings and Nevermore landing. Darius, unfortunately, still not able to execute with the Nox and Guillotine.
We'll have to disengage. However, in bot lane, Guy is pushing up that lane, is going to be coming up behind them. They are low enough for him to do some good damage. Ultimate coming through. Jin's Gale Force is forward, Single Tracks left on very low HP, is able to heal quite a bit though. Floppy Pancake now has to just try and take the brunt of it. Pendragon trying to get away.
This Jin is absolute menace right now, doing quite a lot of damage. Looking for the 4th shot.
Does not have flash. Does not have Gale Force. Pulled
no,
under tower.
lands.
Cappy, you're caught out now. Dark Binding comes through. Martin Teal also rooting. Single Tracks will have to get away. Now he's reset, he wants to go back in. Cappy, it's just too much for you. Flashes the mastery. A little bit of disrespect coming through from Single Tracks. Dragon is up now. It looks like Aeon is going to be able to get there first. However, they do not have the amount of members up that Genesis does. It looks like Aeon is going to try and cheese in a bush, see if they can pick out somebody coming through.
Yeah, well, they're gonna if they're able to catch one of these main carries here, it's gonna be extremely hard for Genesis to compete for this dragon.
You want to be careful having your carries frontlining the push. You want to make sure Pancake or Single Tracks is in the front of the team.
They need to make sure they get this dragon bursted down as quickly as possible.
Nick Wolf
The
dropping the
Maokai is
ult,
still unable
Demonic
to get the
Ascension coming
dragon.
through. Dragon is taken for the side of Genesis. Nick Wolf goes
Nick Wolf
down.
can take a lot of damage. This Darius is in the back line.
Dracarys goes down.
A lot of damage. Will the Nox and
Hello is
Guillotine
trying to
come
be in the
out?
back line doing as much damage. He does get the
Nox and
4th shot onto
Guillotine
Nick Zora.
gets cancelled.
Oh no! They're turning this fight around! They're turning it around! Aeon has won the fight! The dragon went to Genesis, but Aeon was able to pull it through with the insane amount of damage. They left the Jin uncontested, standing in the back, sending shot after shot.
Darius was not able to get the reset on Nox and Guillotine. Did accidentally use it on the full health Jin with the Swain going golden. That means no resets. The Darius was not able to snowball. And it looks like this game could very much be ending right here, right now.
They're missing the minions though. Midwave is not coming through.
Oh, I thought they were going to tank it. It looks like they're not going to tank it. They're going to play the safer route, going to play the safer fight.
Looks like they're pinging for Baron. They want to move that direction. Little bit of wave control was not there. Minions were nowhere near the end of mid lane to be able to push those Nexus turrets.
Yeah, like the thing is here with Genesis, they're pulling out these fights really well. They're really good fights, but they're not focusing the right people. They need to get onto this. They need to get onto this Jhin. This Jhin is too much of a nightmare. The Swain as well, getting way too much damage down.
However, the amount of CC from this team is very difficult to lock onto that Jhin with the fleet footwork as well.
So it does look like they are going to just give up the Baron. They are not going to contest it. And that's going to be putting Aeon at a 60,000 gold.
You can see Genesis here on each side of the lane. They're trying to push out the lanes, trying to defend as much as possible before the brunt of the minions come and hit the tower.
Yeah, I'm also thoroughly surprised about this like when they, you know what, I've just realized now with you. I know you pointed out earlier, but they're pretty much full AD. Like the Karma is not going to be doing too much magic damage. It's opting for the tank items and that whatnot, but they just don't have enough magic damage.
No, exactly. And as we can see here from the side of Guy and Nick Wolf, they're building AD resistant items. Oh, Deadly Flourish comes through on Pancake, but he is tanky. Fourth shot does do quite a considerable amount of damage. However, the Yordle Snap Trap wall will not let them move forward without taking some headshot damage from Dracarys. Nick Wolf is braving to step into these traps to allow some kind of passage through, but once again, another part of the wall just built right back up. Single Track's trying to defend this bot lane turret, but it seems like Aeon is moving to try and take this. Pancake getting rooted. Single Track's now caught out. He was on the wrong side of this fight. Deadly Flourish comes through. Single Tracks goes down.
Hello doing a mad amount of damage already as he comes out.
Gale forces forward, catches Pendragon. And this is it. This is game.
This is game. Desperately trying their best, but it's just too much. There's too much resistances on the side of Aeon.
Zora will try his best, but that fourth shot takes Zora's health to half on one bullet. That is GG's coming through from the side of Genesis. They know they cannot stop this.
And that will be a 2-0 to the side of Genesis. 2-0 to the side of Aeon, sorry. And
very well played, though.
GG's. Yeah, GG's to both teams. Very good effort coming out from both sides.
I will say...
Straight just saying in chat, straight up, Aurelia Bork is full build. Great champ.
I will say, though, if there's one word I can give to the side of Genesis, it is tenacious. They kept fighting even after these lost team fights. They still kept their hopes up on defending that base. They still tried their best to deal with the oncoming slaughter that is the Baron buff with the empowered minions. They tried their best. I will give them that.
Very, very respectful play between these two teams. Aeon just coming out with a better team comp, better fight. And it's still I feel like with this team, with it being formed, it's still got a long way to go. Despite despite going 1-for-1 against Lost Time yesterday, I think there's still a bit of stuff that they could work on in the future. Yeah,
with the advantage that Single Track's got in top lane, guys started playing a lot more safe, waiting for the CS, waiting for the ganks, and that ended up paying up in the late game. You see that Guy was able to put down the stuns needed along with Cappy on the Morgana, hitting basically, I'd say 80% of those Dark Bindings, following up immediately with a Deadly Flourish from the Jhin. It was a deadly CC-filled game from the side of Aeon.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, Aeon executed their team comps correctly. They picked a very similar comps. This Jhin was absolutely terrifying. Morgana landing all the correct bindings that they needed to land. Very, very dangerous. And I think you can't mess with the Deadly Flourish down in that bot lane. Well, what's it? No, the Dark. We're calling it
Dark Flourish, yeah.
The Dark Flourish or the Deadly Binding. I think Deadly Binding.
I think Deadly Binding does sound a lot better.
So yeah, a very good game coming up from these two teams. We're hoping to see them again soon. I know Aeon are going to probably be playing sometime this week, but yeah, very good game.
Well, thank you very much to all participants of the game. Very well played. Thank you very much to everybody in the chat for coming and watching this game. Really, really well played from both sides, and really good interaction from chat on keeping this this whole spirit going in terms of cheering on your favorite teammates and the team.
Yeah, it was really setting the Era boys coming in clutch, supporting the supporting all their boys, supporting everything, making sure everybody can see what ERA is made of.
And that's it from our casters. Do we need to do an interview? Do we?
I mean, we can. Do we want to bring in? Who would we vote as our man of the match? I think it might have to go to Hello. Hey.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that bot lane game was impeccable. The amount of aggression as well with the Gale Force, it was very very. But I would also say, in terms of MVP, I don't think Hello would have as much setup without Cappy hitting a lot of those dark bindings.
That is true. Did do very well in the second game, going 0-5-23, landing all the correct dark bindings, setting up Jin for all the deadly flourishes, all the curtain calls. So yeah, I think we might. Let's bring. Do you want to bring Cappy in?
Let's bring in
What do we
Cappy,
think?
yeah.
All right, let's go and get Cappy in here for a quick interview. I know Guy on the Fiora was also really disgusting, but I think overall, collectively, I would definitely say that Cappy is the one who he made it happen. You don't want to give him this Morgana. His Morgana was scary. The kind of Morgana you don't want to see in your ranked games.
I very much agree.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Cappy. Welcome.
How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. Seeing all these dark bindings landing, dude, you make me fearful facing Morganas in my ranked games.
Oh yeah, man. Like I don't know why they just keep giving me Morgana, man. I don't know why.
And yeah, the Jin pairing as well. We've come up for a name for you lads, so we're calling it the Deadly Binding, taking Dark Binding and the Deadly Flourish into like one ability.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. No, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun game. Like I really enjoyed it. It's a bit difficult. It was our first game as a everyone was like moved around a little bit, and we got a new AD. So it was some adjustments, but I think we did okay. We did okay.
Yeah, I think right now guys came out quite well, especially with a lot of these new rosters still experimenting, still trying to find their niche a lot of the time. There were a lot of moments in that game where it was getting a bit scary for you guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. We've made some mistakes. Overstaying. We were like taking jungle camps while we were just supposed to back, and that that's bad. So,
Yeah.
but at the end, we actually just pulled it together. At least, if the map was in a worse state, they could have capitalized on our mistakes and actually just ended the game. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any questions, Emir?
No, I mean, to be honest, it was a very clean game from the bot side there. Being able to follow up immediately with the Deadly Flourish after those Dark Bindings, securing a lot of those kills. Tell me, did you ever feel a bit of fear seeing that Darius was left open for single tracks?
No, not at all. I have
Ooh.
complete confidence in my top laner. It's my boy. So
No, it's my guy.
it's my guy, yeah. So I know he will prevail. He'll come out on top.
Very
Oh,
glad
and
of
by
that
the way, I
confidence.
just have to mention the first game I had like 220 ping the whole game through.
Oh, we
Oh,
did.
wow,
Like a lot
yeah.
of the chat did appear to see you were struggling a bit with the internet.
I don't even know what's going on, but yeah, apparently lag is
South
it's-
Africa things.
Yeah. So yeah, I hit those bindings with 220 ping, boys. I'm just saying.
One thing I also want to point out, something on my side, is I saw you guys let through the Kiana on the first round.
Yeah.
But I saw you guys, and you let the Kiana and the Echo, but I see you had a very good answer for that with the Casio.
Yeah, I mean, Mott really does know how to play his Casio. Like it's one of his staple picks, and he's very good on it. He's very efficient. So yeah, no, it was a good pick. I think he did struggle a bit in lane, he said, but late game it doesn't really matter because Casio is just giga scaling and then she kills everything.
Yeah, she just drops the miasma, then the Kiana and the Echo can't really get into the back line.
Yeah, no,
With all the dashes and
it's
whatnot.
too difficult to move.
Yeah, but all in all, I think it was some excellent League of Legends. Hope to be seeing you guys soon with more of your matches in the future. Do you know when your next opponent's gonna be?
We don't know when the next one will be scheduled, but we have used we've added all of our dates on the sheet. So if someone wants to take tomorrow or Tuesday, they are more than welcome. So we are open at those times, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we're very much hoping to see that soon because we do want to showcase the brand new the new era Aeon banner.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Like
Very much going to be an open
looks
showcase.
too good. Yeah.
Gotta promote it for these other teams because it looks so good, and like we just gotta get these other teams to do it.
Yeah, no, they should all just send me the details and then we get it sorted. Compliments to Star because he's the one actually making these.
Yeah,
Does a
he's
really good
coming
job.
clutch.
Yeah. Star, if you don't know him, he plays for GFX. He's the mid laner, but yeah, GFX dissolved, so but yeah.
Very talented young man. But I think that's all from me. I don't know if Emu's got any more last minute questions for you.
No, that'll be all for me. I mean, it was a very clean game. There's not really much you can ask about, to be honest. It was a good show from both sides.
Yeah, I think Genesis played really well. I think they have to just look at team fighting, maybe drafting. Like they picked the same comp bot. Even they lost lane, and then we made a silly mistake, and I started lagging. So I think maybe they had confidence that they actually won the lane. But yeah, they picked the same comp into a lane that they were gonna lose. Like they were gonna lose it.
Yeah, I think it was particularly difficult because they must have only realized much later on that they were full AD.
Yeah. So we all just had one armor item. Obviously on Morgana, you can't just build armor, So Zonya's enough to actually just help. But yeah, everyone knew it was full AD, so all we had to do was just build a little bit of armor, and then we sorted.
Yeah, I mean the
Game
Swain
gets a
coming
lot
out
harder for them.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean
yeah,
that
the
Swain was
Swain
absolute
was
nightmare to deal with.
absolute unit. Like there was no killing that guy. If I was with him and Irelia, and we all just us three could maybe have soloed that whole team. Because if you can't CC the Swain's gonna CC you, he's gonna slow you, and he's gonna kill you. So yeah, Swain is just terrible to play into.
Very much a broken champion. I will say that.
Yes, I agree.
But
All
yeah,
right.
all right. Well, it's been nice chatting with you, Cappy. Hope to see you in the future. Hope to see you chat to you. Get more of these MVPs, man. Come on.
Yeah, easy, man. Like I always get these, dude. I always get these.
Yeah, if they let the Morgana through, you already know you're getting that MVP.
Yeah, if they don't ban Morg, I know it's gonna be a nice game. So that's a warning for all the viewers out there. Ban Morgana.
Ban Morgana.
Throwing a little bit of shade out there, guys.
Yeah, like ban Morgana. Give me a challenge, boys. Like I don't want to have to play Morgana every time.
Oh, man is bold throwing out these accusations.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's going to have to be all from the caster's desk as well as the interview.
Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you, boys. Have a nice one.
Thank you.
Have a nice one too. Cheerio, my guy.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up as well. Hope you enjoyed this game, and hope to catch another one on the stream as well. This was lots of fun. And, well, good luck to you all for the next week coming.
Cheerio,
Cheers.
peeps.